What does the therapist have to say about Death Note? Well, we're about to find out because we are in season 1, episode 9. It's actually not season 1 because it's the only season, but it's got a bunch of episodes. We are on episode 9 at this point after Light just did the whole potato chip thing, writing with one, messing with the other, pretending, because he's got all these cameras around him. I still don't understand how he threw away a $400 camera, though, that was inside of a potato chip bag, and how he was writing with his left hand because he must be ambidextrous. We're just going to dive right in. I don't know what in the world is about to happen, but I know one thing. The pressure on Light is growing, and I think he feels like he's outsmarting everybody, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't know that he is, y'all. I don't know if he is, because what if they keep surveilling? What if L keeps surveilling him because he thinks something's not right? He can't keep buying $400 cameras and doing a potato chip bag, because if the killing stops while he's surveilling him, he might be saying, this might be our guy. Let's get it. Death Note, episode 9. Don't forget, if you want this episode or any other episode of Death Note or of any other series we've done, go to our Patreon page. The VIP tier is the best place to be. It has everything unedited, clear as day, not blurred out, not shortened like on YouTube. It's all there, behind the scenes stuff. And there's a chat room for every series that you and I can chat in. Not to mention there's tons of other content, and it's a great way to support a channel, and we are grateful for that. VIP tier, Patreon. Try it for a month.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody's following you, okay? Now hurry up already, will you? The symptoms are getting worse.
He needs the apples,
you're not saying
man.
what you think I'd want to hear just to get some apples.
Whoa, hold it right there. I just flew out and checked a 100-meter radius around you, and there was no one there. So yeah, for the last time, I'm sure, okay?
Get him some apples. He's upside down at this point.
Right, come on, hurry up. You really haven't been that
so
nice
hungry.
to me.
I wonder if his arms and legs will come back together after he eats a little bit of apples.
Hey, Ryuzaki.
Yes?
I've been thinking about the purse snatcher and the embezzler's heart attacks 2 days ago. It seems my family couldn't have had any knowledge of them before they died. Shouldn't that resolve any doubts you have?
You may be right. Even though Kira can control the time of death, I don't think there's any way he could have arranged their deaths without having seen the broadcast first.
So you're gonna keep quiet and pretend to study again, huh?
You can't say anything,
I
though,
have a
because
good
there's
grasp
cameras.
of where all the cameras
Not
are
even
placed,
speaking.
but I only managed to...
Does Ryu, can he understand his thoughts? Like, does Ryu, he's making these comments to him, but all these thoughts that we're hearing, can he hear them as well to know what he's talking about?
I made sure to kill criminals whose names and faces were broadcast when I didn't have access to TV or the internet. But there's a chance I'll look even more suspicious if only these lesser criminals end up dying while I'm not receiving information. In other words, if I kill other petty criminals whose names and faces are broadcast as I watch TV, I won't draw unnecessary attention to myself.
Our surveillance of the Kitamura and Yagami households has revealed... nothing. We will remove the cameras and wiretaps.
All that and we still don't have any suspects.
I only said that we were unable to reveal anything suspicious based on our surveillance.
What?
Even if Kira was among them, I'm sure he wouldn't make it obvious. No, in fact, it could mean he was able to continue killing.
Like a lot of sensory stuff for him. Lots of rubbing, touching, habitual things. Got real like spectrum-like behaviors that, he's kind of introverted to himself. Very bright, very brilliant. But lots of thinking about this and processing. Gosh, 95% that he's
Kira
not.
never stopped killing people, even while the surveillance cameras were in place. I still have no idea how he's been able to commit these murders, but let's say he could kill someone simply by wishing death upon them. You'd think that any human being would have shown at least some emotion, some sign that they were knowingly committing an act of murder. No, these aren't acts of God, but someone very childish and immature who wants to pretend they're God.
He's getting
That's
on
what's
to
going
this.
on here. A mass murderer who calls himself Kira exists somewhere. I'm sure of it, and I will catch him. But I can't count on Kira making any mistakes. Ideally, I would get to know him well enough that he'd admit to me that he was Kira and show me how he kills. Would that even be possible?
It's almost like he's doing the same thing that Kira, Light, did with the girl, the agent's fiance who he killed. Or had herself killed. It's almost like he's doing the same thing. He's thinking, if I can endear myself to him or get closer to him, maybe he'll start to reveal himself to me. And, there's one thing to know about like a sociopath. They're very ego-driven, and they like attention, and they like to feel powerful. So I'm wondering if Elle is going to, I don't know, almost kind of back off from him to see if there's a way he can get to know more about him. What I wish is that he could do more of this in secret, but Light is knowing everything he's doing. So he's already got a hint that this is what's going on. Love Ryuk.
Light, I just checked and all the cameras have been removed. All of them, every single one. Hello? Are you listening to me?
Doesn't trust it.
Hey, Light! Oh, good point. We still don't know if they've removed all the wiretaps from the house.
Once I get rid of Elle, Kira will be one step closer to becoming the god of the new world.
See, there it is. That's
Light,
upsetting
hurry up.
to
You don't
me.
want to be
Frustrating.
late. Oh, do your best.
I know you don't need it, but good luck!
You there! The exam will be starting in 10 minutes, so you better hurry up!
It's fine. I plan to get here 3 minutes before the test. I hate waiting. I'm here too early.
Well, confident.
I cannot believe what just happened. It's part of that thinking of like if he just back off and just kind of endear himself, but I never imagined him going into the class where he is into a test. How does Light turn around and wonder, this guy's got no shoes on. He doesn't know how to sit properly. Like people in this class already know how to sit properly. I wonder if he's going to add that up. Like, this guy's not the same.
It seems like a lot of Shinigami are observing the human world lately. What's with that anyway?
It turns out that Ryuk is being kept by a human.
What's he thinking? Seriously?
He's a disgrace to the pride of the Shinigami. You're a college student now. That's kind of...
This is like fast forwarding. So did he understand that that's who that was in the testing area? Or was that Elle just kind of making his way in and blending in?
Now for the freshman address, freshman representative, Light Yagami.
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
And freshman representative, Hideki Ryuga.
Oh, here.
Is that Hideki Ryuga, the pop idol?
That guy?
Is that
I
Elle?
knew I'd be giving the address with one other student, but I never expected this. I remember him from the exam center. He got into trouble for sitting oddly in his desk. It seemed like he was off in his own world.
I'm trying to remember if Light has heard Elle's voice before. Or no, it was always masked, wasn't it? He's had the agents hear his voice, but he's never had Elle hear his voice. But he's putting himself out here more than ever, because all Light has to do at this point is put his name down and boom, because he knows his face now. Couldn't Light even say, you know what, I'm just going to take a shot at this. I'm just going to take a shot that this is Elle and what he looks like and what his death's going to be and see if he dies. Couldn't he do that just as a chance?
Man, these two are total opposites.
Yeah.
This one looks like a sheltered genius who's been groomed for success his whole life. But the other one...
As we embark on this new chapter in our lives...
There's something not right about him. He's just freaking weird. This guy must be what they call a mad genius. Coming to the Toho entrance ceremony dressed like that?
Light Yagami. Your father is Chief Soichiro Yagami of the NPA. Your respect for your father's matched only by your strong sense of justice.
Who the hell is this guy?
You're planning to join the police agency when you graduate. And you've already got experience, seeing as you've helped the police solve a number of cases in the past. Now you're showing an interest in the Kira case. I have important information concerning the Kira investigation that I'd like to share with you.
Turning the tables on him.
Where's this coming from? And who is he? Is it safe to just ignore him? But I wonder what this information actually is. I won't tell anyone. What is it?
I want to tell you I'm Al.
Oh my goodness.
What? There's no way. What's he talking about? If he really was L, he'd never admit to it. I thought this guy was a bit strange, but this is pretty extreme. If you are who you say you are, then you have nothing but my respect and admiration.
Thank you. The reason I chose to reveal my identity to you is because I think you could be of some help to us on the Kira investigation.
But can't he now just go write his name and a death description on paper and it's over? He could pull it out of his pocket right now and do it.
If you are Kira, I can't think of anything that would put more pressure on you than this little scenario.
If this guy is really L like he says, then consider me impressed.
Indeed. If this guy really is L, no, even if he's not L, I can't do anything to him.
Is that because he would have told everybody what he's doing, L? And if he dies, then they would know immediately that it's light and it would be over? So technically, L is risking his life at this point by saying, you know, I might die, but at least it will be in solving this investigation for somebody after me. Oh my goodness, this is so stressful.
If he were to die right after telling me who he was, it would only confirm their suspicions. Although it's obvious Hideki Ryuga is nothing more than an absurd alias, it still complicates things. Even if I get lucky and it isn't an alias, if I try to kill him by simply writing his name in the death note, I might accidentally picture the face of Ryuga the pop star. Does he already suspect that I'm Kira? It's hard to say how much he knows, but I must be under suspicion. What other reason could he have for telling Soichiro Yagami's son that he's L? Does this mean that he's still suspicious of the people that Ray Penrose was investigating before he died?
I didn't think the ceremony would be so interesting.
Hey, Light.
You hear that? I think it's your new friend.
I'm sure I'll see you on campus.
Yeah, take care.
That kid must come from some serious money. Plus, he's at the top of the class. Where's the justice?
Can he go back to normal or no?
Damn it! He got me!
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Damn, L! I've never been so humiliated in my life! Don't
Trying
think
to
that
help.
Shinigami killing people and humans killing people are the same thing, because they're not. I want nothing more than to kill him, but if I do, it's like asking to get caught. Unfortunately, the death note can only kill the person whose name is written in it, so it's not like I can arrange for someone else to kill him. It doesn't matter how sure I am. Regardless of the cause of death, if L dies now, the police are going to suspect me. I underestimated him. I never even considered the possibility that he would reveal his identity to me on purpose. I'm sure I haven't seen the last of Ryuga. He'll keep trying to move in on me, playing the absent-minded genius, and we'll pretend like nothing's going on.
Oh my goodness.
This is perfect. There's no reason for me to be worried. After all, this is proof that they don't have anything on me yet. So this whole thing is nothing more than a contest between Al and me. And once you've told me what I want to know, there'll be no point keeping you alive.
Wow.
Then I'll kill you. With my hands if I have to.
Oh my goodness. How about that? Episode 9. That was like, I just was sitting there staring at it, watching it like, here's the ultimate showdown. That's why I wonder, how does this thing go past 10, 11 episodes? Because this is it. L did something I never thought he would do. I thought he'd find a way to wiggle in, but not to go in and like, boom, in his class. And he arranged to give the speech, and he arranged to be in school with them, and he arranged for the transportation. He's probably arranged to let the key people know what he's doing so that if anything happens. But he had the balls to tell him, I'm L, just to see if he could get a reaction out of him. And it hasn't removed his suspicion. He still suspects. What's going to happen next? I think they're both going to up the antes, but I think the sociopath nature, the pathology of Light has gotten worse and worse. He's now so consumed with this. I mean, he's naturally brilliant, but he's so consumed with this. He is bent on victory. He doesn't want to get out of this. He doesn't want to do this like incognito and like anonymously. He wants to have victory. He wants to endear himself to Elle. He wants to create a friendship so he can lure him in, only to be able to kill him, even with his bare hands. You hear that laugh at the end? He's lost his mind at this point. This therapist keeps getting more and more intrigued. And you know, one of my biggest questions is, what makes Elle press in so hard on Light? I don't see anything about the other suspects. It's like they're just honing in on this. And what makes Light keep wanting to dive deeper into this? You'd think he'd be wanting to like get suspicion off of him. But no, he's like inviting Elle in at the same time. It's almost like, okay, I'll up the ante. You do this, I'm going to do this. That ego in him and Light is just out of control to me. I used to like him. Now I don't. Elle, just a little bit awkward in the way that he does things, and it's not orthodox at all. And he seems like he brings more attention to himself than not with the way that he acts, but he's pulling it off so far. Let's see, Death Note, episode 10. Don't forget, if you want this episode or any other fully unedited and a chat room to be able to talk about things, other series to watch, and album reactions, go to our Patreon page, the VIP tier. It's a great place to meet people, to gather, to talk about all these series, and to get tons of extra content, and also a cool way to support a channel. We're thankful for that. Check it out, but I can't wait to see. Is this college?
I have to admit, I was surprised, Ryuga. I never thought you'd ask me to play tennis as a way to get to know each other. If I ask him if he's British, would he think I'm trying to find out more about him because I'm Kira? Oh well, can't hurt to try. Ryuga, were you raised in the UK?
I lived in England for about 5 years when I was younger, but save your breath. Nothing in that story would reveal Elle's true identity, I promise you. This is just a friendly game of tennis, nothing more. In and of itself, it won't determine if Light is Kira, but I know Kira hates to lose.
Whoa.
You sure don't mess around.
He who strikes first wins.
What do you mean you're not at liberty to say?
I'm very sorry, sir. We're under orders from Elle not to discuss the case with anyone, including you.
I'm not asking for details here, just what you're doing and where.
I'm very
Can't
sorry,
say a thing,
sir.
man.
The rest of the department runs away with their tails between their legs,
Yeah,
and we're incompetent.
no kidding.
Do you have any idea how many people are left at task force headquarters these days? If you're concerned with public opinion, then you'll want to suppress the fact that most of our detectives would rather let a serial killer roam free than risk their lives.
What about this L character? Can he be trusted?
In my opinion, he's a lot more capable than we are. Right now, even as we speak, he's risking his life.
Everybody's watching.
Is he going to think that I'm Kira if I go for the win? I suppose I could just lose on purpose, but if I do, it could work against me. Since he'd expect Kira to want to win, he might also expect me to throw the match to avoid suspicion.
All this
I don't
double
see any
thinking.
way that he can profile me based on a tennis match.
Look at that. He's going for the win.
That's 4 games all. Light Yagami to serve.
And just like that, we've got an umpire and a line judge.
Hey, what about my Ryuga? Don't tell me you haven't noticed him holding his own against this former junior high champ.
I can see the wheels turning, Light Yagami. I'm already in your head.
There's no way this tennis match will deepen our friendship. This is a token gesture, an elaborate act we'll go through so we can say we're closer. And then you're going to try and trap me by getting me to say something.
All
that
these
only
mental
Kira would
games.
know.
However, I'm sure you'll tell me you need to know if you can trust me first. And of course, the only way to win your trust will be to share what I know about Kira.
If you want me to discuss Kira with you, it only makes sense that I'd want to ask for proof that you are in charge of the investigation. To win, you must attack!
Game and set! Won by Light Yagami!
Hey.
6 games to 4!
I'm feeling kind of thirsty. Plus, there's something I wanted to ask you about. You want to go somewhere for a drink?
You humored me with the tennis match. The least I can do is answer some of your questions.
Being so
But before
open.
this conversation goes any further, there's something I must tell you.
What's that?
I suspect that you, Light Yagami, are in fact Kira.
I love that sound. He puts all this pressure right out in front of him. Like, I've already got my eye on you. This is who I suspect you are. Just looking for any wavering, because I think he's trying to see if Light's going to see, number one, proof that he's really L, but number two, any information that he knows about Light that's led him to believe that. And so it's this tennis match like they just had back and forth, symbolic tennis match, back and forth, to see who knows what about who and who's going to give information without really, like, how are you going to get information without really trying to?
You think I'm Kira?
Well, when I say I suspect you, it's only a 1% possibility. That aside, I don't mind telling you that once I'm sure you aren't Kira, and I can verify that your deductive skills are as strong as I think they are, I'd like nothing more than to have you work with me on this investigation.
It's reeling him in.
This coffee shop is one of my favorites in the area. And if we sit here, there's no chance of anyone overhearing us.
Thanks for showing me this place. I can see why you like it.
Not to mention, we're so out of the way here, no one's gonna give you a hard time about the way you sit.
What was it you wanted to ask me?
All the creamer.
Right. I'm sure that can wait until you're
Stacking.
convinced that I'm not Kira. So please, let's talk about whatever you want to.
You're under no obligation to do this, but
But you know what's funny? Didn't Light just say, I have some questions for you? Let's go somewhere to talk? But it didn't seem like he was asking questions.
So please, let's
Trying
talk about
to
whatever you
pass
want
it
to.
back over to him.
you're under no obligation to do
defense.
this, but would you mind submitting yourself to a test of your deductive reasoning skills?
Sure, why not? Sounds like fun.
All right, then. We can begin by taking a look at these. Photographs of 3 notes written by prison inmates while under Kira's control just prior to their deaths. None of this information has been made public. You can take as long as you want to look them over. Please let me know what you think.
There's a print number on the back of each of these photographs. If I ignored this fact and was still able to come up with the phrase, "L, do you know, gods of death love apples," what would that mean? Clearly, if I read it the way Kira intended on my first attempt, I'd only look more suspicious. But the fact that I'm able to solve this silly code isn't enough on its own to prove that I'm Kira. I think Kira wrote these, and it seems he's encoded a message for you as well, almost as if he's mocking you. If you
That's interesting. So these are the obvious things for him without him giving away anything that he already knows. He's just reading based on what's on the face of it.
Rearranging it like this gives you L, do you know? Gods of death love apples. But there are obvious print numbers on the back of all these photographs. Arrange it in that order, we get L, do you know? Love apples, gods of death.
The thing is, there were actually 4 photographs. When we add this one, it reads, L, do you know? Gods of death who love apples have red hands.
It's a fake. I never made any criminal write the letter in this 4th picture. But seeing as I only had 3 photographs to work with, my deduction was perfect.
No, it wasn't. The truth is, there were 4 of them. If you'd figured that out, it would have been perfect. Even though you knew...
He's pressing him, man. It's like, no, it wasn't. You weren't right. You don't know really what you're talking about. There were 4, even though there weren't. I think he's trying to lure him in. It's like he's trying to press his button because Kira likes to be right all the time and likes to have control and power. And when he's told he's wrong, he's stupid, he doesn't know what he's talking about, it might trigger him.
This wasn't just about gauging my deductive reasoning skills. He wanted to see what my reaction would be. If I keep falling for his tricks, I'll be playing right into his hands. Well, you got me there. I didn't think of that. In any case, the likelihood this message will lead you to Kira is not very great.
What's incredible is that I've asked countless detectives that same question, and it took most of them minutes to even come up with an answer. But you immediately thought of a scenario in which Kira is speaking directly to the investigator. You'll make a fine detective, Light.
But it's a bit of a double-edged sword. The more impressive my answers, the more of a suspect I become. But I think you might be getting the wrong idea. It's true that I do have an interest in the Kira case, and yes, detective work is a hobby of mine. But I know that I'm not Kira, and I certainly don't want to be killed by him. Besides, what proof have you been able to give me that you yourself aren't Kira? I mean, it hardly seems fair for just one of us to be investigated, wouldn't you say? At this point, neither of us can prove...
Why would Kira... If he was Kira, why would he go to him? Like, what's the point? I don't understand the point in Kira even going to Light, who's insignificant, not been in the news. Like, what would even be the enticement?
Besides, what proof have you been able to give me that you yourself aren't Kira? I mean, it hardly seems fair for just one of us to be investigated, wouldn't you say? At this point, neither of us can prove that we're not Kira. However, if you are in fact Elle, I don't imagine it would be that hard for you to prove it to me. I think I'd be convinced if, say, my father or someone else from the town...
I'll tell you one way to be able to prove this, I think. How about if the two of us, like, go stay in a hotel somewhere and or in some other place, live there for a week, and then see if killing stops. And if it does, then you can really know you're close to something, because Elle can prove, Elle can prove to anybody, because he's working with the police force right now. But what can Light do?
However, if you are in fact Elle, I don't imagine it would be that hard for you to prove it to me. I think I'd be convinced if, say, my father or someone else from the task force headquarters was able to confirm your identity.
Yeah, then you've got to write it on paper and be dead.
If you can't do that, then I'm afraid I just won't be able to help you.
You sure talk a lot, don't you, Light? I don't remember saying you couldn't meet anyone from task force headquarters to verify my identity. I'm currently working alongside your father, as well as several other senior detectives from the NPA. Now, if I understand you correctly and I take you to task force headquarters, you'll help us with the investigation. Excuse me.
Oh, there goes mine.
Yes?
Ryuzaki, I have some bad news.
Light, your father is...
Light, it's your...
My father. He had a heart attack.
Is that for real? The specific scope of the condition for death is not known to the gods of death either. So you must examine and find out. One page taken for the death note, or even a fragment of the page, contains the full effects of the note. Wow.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Have them call home if you need me to bring anything. Light, you take care of him, okay?
Sure. So the doctors think...
This can't be a part of the plan, can it? That wouldn't stretch to that limit, would it? But think about this. The more time he has with Light, nobody's dying. It's got to tell him, killing's all stopped when I'm with you. And then it resumes when I'm not.
Stress was the only cause?
Yeah. To be honest, I thought it was Kira when I first collapsed, but I'll be all right. It seems I've been pushing myself a bit too hard lately.
In fact, I've told him everything.
Ooh.
It's true, he even knows that I am ill.
I cannot believe Elle is this brazen. What is going on? Why would he do that?
This guy is the real L. My father wouldn't lie. The very same man who's been controlling the police up to this point. If I get rid of him and the rest of the investigative team, no, let's face it, it wouldn't be that simple. But for now, I'm the light Yagami who's worried for his father.
So, Ryuzaki, now that you've had the chance to talk to my son, is he cleared as a suspect?
When I say I suspect him, you should know it's very minor. We've gone over this, but I'll explain it again. One of these agents, Ray Pember, exhibited unusual behavior before he died.
I understand, and I was one of the people Ray Pember was investigating before he died. It only makes sense I'd be a suspect. Nope, to be more precise, there's no one else you could suspect. Ryuga, I'd like to help with the investigation. My father has erased any doubts I might have had regarding your true identity. Also, I'd like nothing more than to catch Kira so I can prove once and for all that I'm not him.
No, Light. This is a time in your life when you should be studying to become a police officer.
Besides, don't you remember my promise? That if something ever happened to you, I would find Kira and make sure he gets executed.
I refuse to believe that my son could turn out to be Kira.
Oh,
this
boy.
doesn't seem like an act to me. Or if it is, it's too cheesy.
What is truly evil is the power to kill people. And any person who has come to possess this kind of power is cursed. No matter how you use it, no true happiness can be obtained like that, not by killing other people.
I think you're absolutely right.
Oh my goodness, what a speech. You know, a father, which is like morally correct, doing something like this is evil and it is calculated and there's nothing to be gained from it. And it's just all wrong. And yet he's describing his son and doesn't even know it. And his son is so void of any moral compass at this point, or void of any care or concern for other people. He really is. He has nothing left. In fact, he's so like tunnel vision to what he wants to do that he forgets, I think, reality. He forgets what it's like to be a person. He's on a different track now. And this is what happens to so many people who start to, a side note, like with addiction, you know, drug addicts, alcoholics, anybody who's addicted to anything, they get so focused on having that substance that the care for other people in their life goes away. Their hygiene, their relationships, their money, all that goes away. Career. This is very similar in the sense that all he's focused on is getting L and being God and being all powerful, not in trying to be a good, kind person.
If Kira is just a normal person who somehow obtained this awful power, I would say that he's cursed.
Ryuzaki, I'm sorry for all this trouble, but I'll be back at work as soon as the doctors let me out of here.
Excuse me. Visiting hours were over 10 minutes ago.
What would it take to get you to believe that I'm not Kira? Please, isn't there something?
If you aren't Kira, it won't be necessary. Let things run their course and the truth will be revealed.
I can't take this anymore. Put yourself in my position. How do you think it feels to be accused of being Kira? What if you were to lock me up for a month in a place with no TV or any other kind of access to the outside world and keep a constant watch over me?
Would any normal person be willing to go to such extreme measures to clear their name? That's no good. I can't do anything that would deprive you of basic human rights. Be patient. It'll become apparent to us if you're not Kira. And listening to that conversation between you and your father, I was almost convinced you might not be him. Light, please take good care of Mr. Yagami.
You know, very much like that girl, the fiance girl. He, to me, pushes himself too far. This is like I get a couple in my office where one is accused of having an affair, and I think he probably has had an affair. Say it's a guy. I think he has had an affair. And he keeps like trying to figure out why I would think that about myself, or he keeps trying to figure out from his wife why she would suspect him of that. And almost a little bit of gaslighting in terms of pressure to, you're the one that should answer my questions, or I'm the one that's suspicious of you, or even in these circumstances where he'll keep asking different questions or just continuing on this whole thing about Kira. Let it go. If you're not Kira, don't worry about it. It'll all run its course. It's fine. but it's like he can't stop with that and he has to keep it going until he gets what he wants. That's the immature piece in him.
Hideki Ryuga. Ryuzaki. He's the L I've been fighting this whole time. But what is his real name?
Light Yagami. Are you not Kira?
I'm happier than I've ever been, all thanks to this power.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to create a perfect world.
Honestly, I could care less whether you feel cursed or happy to have a notebook. I leave that sentimental crap to you humans.
Listen, you people must think that just mentioning Kira's name is enough to get us the ratings we need, huh? Well, you're wrong! Our program gets the ratings because we cover the stories that the other stations won't touch. If it bleeds, it leads. What I need is a good freaking story, not this crap. What is it? So who is this from? Huh? Now this is more like it. This is what I call a story. A message to the world from Kira. If you do not broadcast these tapes, I will kill your company's board of directors one by one. Who wouldn't air these? If this is for real, our ratings are gonna go through the roof. Holy crap! I'm so excited I feel like I'm having a heart attack here.
Oh my gosh, y'all. What an ending to episode 10. Can you believe it? Is this true? Like, did Light send those tapes to this station and have the list of board of directors? He could find those pretty easy, right, of the station? And say he wants these led and these stories run? So he's trying to, like, dictate how things are going to go himself? What is this leading to? I cannot believe how they have this, again, tennis match back and forth of who's in charge and who's dictating what. Oh, this is too good to be true. What a story. I love Death Note, and I never thought I would ever say that in my life when I heard about this series. Remember, it's not real therapy. Just tell them, bring it down, Death Note. If you want help, check the links in the description. Leave us your comments and join us over on Patreon, the VIP tier, where it's all unedited. You get it ahead of time. There's a chat room for Death Note and everything else. And you get other content like album reactions as well. Come check it out. Give it a month. VIP tier, Patreon. Come join us. It's worth it. Mental health matters. See you on the next Reaction Therapy.